Alright, everyone, this is Ash. Welcome back to the King's Speech. So as usual, we are getting around to the weekly Shonen Jump catch-up, but we finally have the new chapters of Gokurakugai and Spy Family back after their somewhat lengthy hiatus, so I'm really looking forward to dive into those chapters. Apart from that, I've already recorded videos for Akane Banashi Kaiju number 8, as well as Spy Family. I'm also going to get a read-through out today for Battle Angel Alita as well. It's a lot of great content to look forward to, so if you haven't already, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I've mentioned a couple of times before, these next couple of months tend to be the hardest on me mental health-wise. So your show of support, liking on my videos, commenting, all that kind of stuff, really does mean a lot to me. So if you'd like to do any of that, that would really be greatly appreciated. Without further ado, let us dive into it with Gokurakugai Chapter 15, Hesitation by Yuto Sano, with translation by David Evelyn and lettering by Kyla Aiko. And we have Miss Tao. What is that thing? And you have Amaga. Some call them disaster beasts. Literal monsters made from the resurrected corpses of a man and beast. And you see as Kyle's just holding the gun on, was it Yoru? Yeah. And he's like, I killed Kanata, didn't I? He's like, yeah. What you did was that Maga's only salvation. And you see how the panel zooms in on her Kyle's fingers. He's just hesitating and quivering, and she's trying to pull the trigger. It's like, I mean, they go through a living hell if you don't kill them. And she just imagines, a baby or with his hands out just crying. And her gun arm just kind of falters and drops. And Jeff, what are you doing to Miss Tao, you bastard? As Alma comes in from above with the axe kick on him. Oh, God. And he's just looking furious, and his face is looking so much more mature. And you see as he's grinning, you see the shadow of his hands around Tao's neck. And Alma kicks him again with a roundhouse right to his neck. And he also just smacks him with his fist as well and knocks him down to the ground. And as he's doing a follow-up, Tao calls out, Alma! And he stops and diverts his fist to slam it down next to his face. As Yoro's just grinning at him with blood dripping out of his mouth. He's like, you? It's like that lost kid from before? But you seem kind of different. Actually. And you see Tatsuomi as he's having dinner with Alma going, oh yeah, Miss Tao said you'd be gathering info. Find anything? So that's Alma talking. Tatsuomi's like, you best dang believe I did. Who do you think you're talking to here? Listen, brat, this is million yen info. I'm going to collect the cash from you later. And then he shows him a little drawn picture of Yoro along with the picture they took of him. It's like, this is the fellow that Tao Darlin has been hunting for the past 9 or so years. And you have a white shirt, neckband, his right side something. Oh, his right side is covered by the hair on him. It's like, I remember you talking about this guy. Huh, I feel like I've seen him before. And Todd's always just whispering 1 mil. It's like, anyway, that there's the hanging murderer. And Alma's like, you were the hanging murderer all along? It's like, it's like, you're so cruel, big sis. You abandoned me and pulled some stranger to your side. Ooh, what the fuck? Oh, so I think he's dislocated his arm or shoulder or something. And he seems whipping and snapping it back into place. He's like, his arm. It's like, wait a minute, big sis. What are you to Miss Tao? He's like, her little brother. It's like, little brother? I've never heard Miss Tao mention you. It's like, yeah, she either wouldn't or couldn't tell you. That her little brother was probably dead because of her, I mean. It's like, what's that? It's like, since it seems like it'd be fun, I'll let you meet him. Oh, what the fuck is this, bro? And you see him with the fool, he's leans his head back and snaps forward like he's falling asleep. It's like, youch. He's like, what is this? Did I do it again? He's like, oh, you're the guy from the other day. And then Tao is just staring at him shock and anxiety. He's like, Jin. And he thinks, looks back and imagines her when she's young with the darker hair and everything. He's like, well, why? What are you doing? Why are you with her? She abandoned me. She said she'd be right back. She told me not to worry because she'd protect me. All she does is spout lies. Why? He starts screaming. You see his Maga gate just like manifesting behind him. He's like, a gate. And you see like a bunch of Maga come through the gate. He's like, can we eat him? Can we? I want to go. It's like, none of this makes sense anymore, but it's like, Ms. Tao, I'm assuming you're in a tight spot right now, yeah? She's like, yeah. It's like, all right, sweet. I've been getting the crud kicked out of me for a moment like this. I've graduated from being dead weight so I can fight on my own, even without your permission. So please, leave this to me. It's like, right. And you see him just pulling the stake up by himself as he transforms. And you see him just rushing through and slicing up all the Maga. You have a, ow, ow! As one of them like regenerates, like splits out like this forked tongue. And Alma just grabs one between his teeth and just bites through it. Or just like grabs it and uses to whip it around as he drags the Maga in front of him and slices through it. Oh, that's fucking sick. Did a piece of his leg get bitten off? Yeah, so as he's like throwing the Maga behind him as he bisected it, it looks like it bit off a piece of his leg. And you see as he's like falling over, like a bunch of Maga are surrounding him. And you have Jin going, it's her, but it's... What the hell is like... It's not... God. It's not my something, it's not my... Oh, it's not my fault. He keeps repeating, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault, it's not my fault. You have a yeek! As one of the Maga's half body parts comes flying towards the gate. He's like, what? As he sees it splatting down. And you see as like all the Maga are just like dogpiling, and you see Alma just slicing through all of them. And you see Jin just looking all freaked out and scared. He's like, stay back! Stay back! And Tao's like, Jin, stop! You have to stay back! And you see him like putting out his hands and starting to choke Alma. He's like, what is your problem? I thought you were a good guy. Were you lying about everything too? Were you just acting nice? Why are you protecting her? Why are you... He's like, Jin, that's your name, right? Forgot to ask for it before. I don't know what happened in the past, but there's one thing you definitely got wrong. Ms. Tao never tells a lie. He's like, huh? It's like, what do you even know? You don't know anything. It's like, Ms. Tao has like apparently been looking for you for the past 9 years. Ms. Tao isn't the type of person to abandon those close to her. And deep down, you know that's true. He's like, shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. As he's just like choking him even harder. He's like, crap, I can't breathe. Actually, it's been 3 minutes, hasn't it? But I'm not done yet. Oh, god damn. Next one you see, I assume it's supposed to be a bang sound as you see his arms just go flying off. As if they're severed. And he just looks over in like shock and confusion as Tao's pulled out her gun and shot off his arms. And he stands and he smiles and goes, you value my stand-in more? It's like, stand-in? It's like, ah man, he got scared and pulled out. Still, I managed to give you a little reunion, and now it's about time I head back. But before I do, it's like, hey Alma, you seem clueless, so I'll fill you in. It's like, say what? It's like, Tao, you listen up too. I'm not mistaken in the least. Everything that woman says is a lie. And Alma's like, and I said that's not true. We just went over this. It's like, but our mom didn't visit God. There's plenty to worry about and nothing was okay. And she wasn't there to protect me. Which is why I protected Jin. I was the one who killed our dad. At first, I couldn't really keep myself swapped in, so I ended up back as Jin before long. We'll talk about this at the end. And I suffered because Jin hung himself, crying over the sight of his dead dad's body. It's a shame because he wanted to live more too. Poor thing. It's all your fault, you know. But at the same time, I'm also grateful. I wouldn't have met Yomi otherwise. A safe place, a family to eat dinner with. He gave me everything I wanted. Which is why, I have to say, I've never been happier since dying. I'm going to keep on killing lots of people for Yomi. Albeit even if you die, Tao, I'm not going to make you part of the family. Well, see you around. As he walks back into the gate. So, yes, quick thoughts on this chapter. So again, as always, art is super, super phenomenal. Love it to bits. Just absolutely perfect. But yeah, apart from that, I do love that we're finally starting to see like the different aspects and sides of Ms. Tao now. Because up till now, she's been kind of like an aloof presence. Aloof, God, what's the word I'm looking for? But she hasn't really like expressed like a lot of emotion or something. She's been like very aloof, very standoffish. So to see her kind of be a little bit more vulnerable is like a really nice change of pace. Apart from that, I'm really hoping that we kind of dive into like the hero worship of Tao that Alma has, where it's kind of like, where he has to kind of learn that, no one is perfect and that, even your heroes can be flawed people. So I hope we're going to see a little bit of development with regards to that. Apart from that, so I guess let's talk about Jin and Yoru. Because there's two kind of ways you can go with it, and I think towards the end of the chapter it's kind of landing more towards the other aspect of it. Because at the end they're like, oh, Maga are a fusion between like, man and beast that were like corpses of a man and beast were like resurrected together. And we still don't like fully know or understand like what exactly they are or what they're supposed to be. So on the one hand, like at the very beginning of this where he's talking about like, oh, I'll let you meet him, I'll bring it out. That felt more like it's kind of reaching towards the side of like, oh, this is a case of like possession, where something is like possessing Jin's body and like using it to commit the crimes. Like he's not aware of it, like he's not aware of the presence. And then towards the end, it kind of went more towards the direction of like, no, this is a split personality that's basically created from the abuse that he suffered as a way to kind of like protect himself and like kind of shield himself from what he'd done, like the fact he murdered his father and they thought his sister abandoned him. Like this is obviously like a split personality that developed from that. And that kind of gets into very sketchy territory because again, kind of equating mental illness with being evil is a problematic trope in just bunches and bunches of media where especially because there's this whole idea of like mentally ill people are dangerous to themselves and people around them, which is never actually really the case, because it's more so that mentally ill people are in danger from everyone else around them. So using that kind of trope of like, oh, there's a mentally ill man going around especially murdering women especially is very, very kind of suspect territory to play around with if not handled carefully. So I'm a little bit kind of hesitant on how this is going to be going forward with Jin and Yoru, especially with Yomi obviously playing kind of like the cult leader, kind of manipulating all these people to work for him. So really will depend on how that's used in the series going forward. But yeah, I like the solid chapter with all the character stuff where you see kind of like Tao's guilt for what her brother's become, what he's turned into, and like her inability to kind of put him down, so to speak. So I'm really, really curious where it's going to go from here. I'm really curious to learn more about Yomi and his entire group. But I'm kind of wary about like the Jin Yoru stuff. Apart from that, I'm glad Gokurakugai is back. Still a good series, still love it to bits, but yeah, I just wanted to kind of point that stuff out. So with all that said, I hope you all did enjoy this video. If you did, please like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Like I mentioned at the beginning, it really, really does mean a lot to me to see that kind of support. So if you'd like to do that, it'd be greatly appreciated. And until next time, this is Ash. I'll talk to you all later.